Repudiation of the mediator implies renunciation of divinity, and this means renouncing pride. The physical diminution of the hero both expresses and conceals the defeat of pride. One sentence with a double meaning in the red and the black expresses beautifully the link between death and liberation, between the guillotine and the break with the mediator. Quote, "What do others matter to me?" End of quote, exclaims Julian Sorel. Quote, "My relations with others are going to be abruptly cut off." End of quote. In renouncing divinity, the hero renounces slavery. Every level of his existence is inverted. All the effects of metaphysical desire are replaced by contrary effects. Deception gives way to truth, anguish to remembrance, agitation to repose, hatred to love, humiliation to humility, mediated desire to autonomy, deviated transcendency to vertical transcendency. This time it is not a false, but a genuine conversion. The hero triumphs in defeat. He triumphs because he is at the end of his resources. For the first time, he has to look his despair and his nothingness in the face. But this look which he has dreaded, which is the death of pride, is his salvation. The conclusions of all the novels are reminiscent of an oriental tale in which the hero is clinging by his fingertips to the edge of a cliff, exhausted. The hero finally lets himself fall into the abyss. He expects to smash against the rocks below, but instead he is supported by the air. The law of gravity is annulled. All novelistic conclusions are conversions. It is impossible to doubt this. But can one go further? Can one maintain that all these conversions have the same meaning? Two fundamental categories seem to be distinguishable from the outset. Those conclusions which portray a solitary hero who rejoins other men, and those which portray a gregarious hero gaining solitude. Dostoevsky's novels belong to the first category, Stendhal's to the second. Raskolnikov rejects solitude and embraces others. Julian Sorel rejects others and embraces solitude. The opposition seems insurmountable, yet it is not. If our interpretations of the conversion is correct, if our interpretation of the conversion is correct, if it puts an end to triangular desire and its effects cannot be expressed either in terms of absolute solitude or in terms of a return to the world, metaphysical desire brings into being a certain relationship to others and to oneself. True conversion engenders a new relationship to others and to oneself. The mechanical opposition of solitude and gregariousness, involvement and non-involvement, are the result of romantic interpretations. If we examine Stendhal's and Dostoevsky's conclusions more closely, we find that the two aspects of true conversion are always present, but that they are not equally developed. Stendhal places more emphasis on the subjective aspect and Dostoevsky more on the intersubjective aspect. The neglected aspect is never completely suppressed. Julian wins solitude, but he triumphs over isolation. His happiness with Madame de Renal is the supreme expression of a profound change in his relationship with others. When the hero finds himself surrounded by a crowd at the beginning of his trial, he is surprised to find that he no longer feels his old hatred for others. He wonders whether others are as bad as he once thought them. When he no longer envies people, when he no longer wishes to seduce or dominate them, then Julian no longer hates them. Similarly, Raskolnikov, in the conclusion, triumphs over his isolation, but he also gains solitude. He reads the gospel. He recovers the peace which has long escaped him. Solitude and human contact exist only as functions of each other. They cannot be isolated without lapsing into romantic abstraction.